Hello, everyone. This is Theresa Webb. Can you see my screen and can you hear me okay? If someone could type in the chat, okay, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm actually looking at SPX 100 right now. I'm just going to briefly jump to my screen, my other screen, and take a look at it. Okay, we have about one more minute before 9:30, so I'm just going to give others an opportunity to hop on before we get started. Okay, so who do we have on tonight? Hello, Miss Jeanette. Linda's on the call. Hey, Linda. Lorenz, Lynette. Good evening. NIRJIT. Good evening. Rochelle, good evening. And Well, good evening. Okay. So, do we have anyone on the call tonight who is actually new? They're new to the ECC11 strategy or new to the vibrato. If you are new, would you please put a 111 in the chat? Okay, awesome. Okay. Right. We have several who are new. Awesome. Okay. So, just to give you a little bit of background information about myself, my name is Theresa Webb, and I've been a student at Kirkland's for it'll be 2 years in May. And as you know, Dr. Kathy Kirkland is the creator of Ecc11 Strategy. She is the queen of the cloud. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be able to share at least what I know about the cloud with you all. I don't know everything, but I do know enough to get paid. So, with that being said, what I'd like to do is just take a few minutes and scan the market right quick, and then I'm going to go over the settings as well as the strategy for those that are new. So if you just give me a second, for those that have been on here before, you can also at this time just take a look at the market to see if anything's moving right now. I was really looking at SPX 500. I wanted to see if it was going to pull back or if it was going to continue in an upward trend. And it looks like it's pulling back just a tad bit. Looks like GBP USD is selling. Let's take a look at that right quick. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit right now. The red line is under the blue line and price is under the clouds. So it looks like after it pulls back, it's going to sell a little bit. Okay. Then I wanted to look at EURJPY. It looked like it was moving. There you are, GURJPY. So it's saying 3 to 5 pips. Let me see what I see. Right now, price is at 117.94. It'll be 118.44. Well, I believe you can get 10 pips out of here. So if anyone wants to trade EURJPY, I believe you're going to get, see, right now price is at 117.896. I believe you can get it up to 117.0. 1795. You can get it up to 117. You can get it up to 118.249. Use that as a take profit. I believe that's where it's going. Let me see where the red line is above the blue line. Price is above the cloud. Let me look at the 5-minute right quick. 5 minutes. Let me look at the 1 minute right quick. Yeah, if you want to trade EURJPY, you can. Take profit. 118.275. Okay. So what I like to do at this point is to go ahead and go over the settings for the Vibrato. So for those of you that are new, if you would please pull up your Vibrato now and we can go over the settings. If you have any questions at any time as I go through this process, please feel free to just slow it up even more and get your questions answered, because this is the space where nobody gets left behind. So on your Vibrato at the bottom, if you could just follow my cursor, at the bottom of the page where it says strategy, you want to just click on the strategy that is listed. And this is how you pull up the ECC11 strategy. A page will come up that says Web Analyzer Settings. You will pick a strategy. And to do that, you'll see an arrow that goes up and down. Just click on that and you'll see Dr. Kathy Kirkland's ECC11 strategy is the first one. Click on it, and then underneath that, it will say Save for Mobile Safari Desktop. If you could click on that, and then scroll down to turn Cha-Ching on, off. And under that, you will see on, a blue circle will be around on. When you click on it, go scroll up to Save Settings and Reload. Click on that, and you will have Dr. K's ECC11 strategy on your vibrato. I see there's a question. Take profit for EJ is I don't remember what I said, but it should be around 118.262. Okay, so we're going back to the settings. Two more questions. Oh, two people posted the take profits. Thank you. Okay, so we're back to the settings. You should have Dr. Kathy's ECC11 strategy on your page. Now, what I like to do is move over to the left side. You will see a window that is green and one that is red. All green means is that that particular pair is a buy. Red means it is a sell. Now, up above the window, you will find an M5, M15, H1, H4, and a D1. Those are time frames. What I typically do, you don't have to do this, but I deselect M5. And the reason that I deselect it is because anytime you take a trade idea that is on the M5 time frame, that means you're on the way the algorithm is set, you're only going to get 3 to 5 pips. If you take a trade idea for the time frame M15 and above, you will get 10 pips. I'm interested in 10 pips. But if 3 to 5 is good for you, by all means, keep the M5 checked. Okay, so over to the left, if you scroll down, you will see power trades. Now, if you do not, now this is where you will find the London Payout trade ideas. You will click on LP, and in this window, you will see that this is where Dr. Kathy and Kevin Serrano place their trade ideas. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If you don't have the London Payout, I suggest you get it. It's only $10, and you will have made that $10 up by the time you wake up in the morning, plus some. So if you do not have the London Payout, I highly recommend that you get it. Dr. Kathy puts in pending trades every night about 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And those pending trades, for the most part, take profit by the time you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get on her live web vibrato channel in the mornings. So, and at a minimum, you'll probably profit about $30. It just depends on what your capital is and what your lot size is. And what she does is put trade ideas in for indices. And indices are your US 30, SPX 500, NAS 100, etc. Recommend using a 0.01 lot size. At a minimum, you should have at a minimum $300 in your live account. But she has been doing this for well over a month. Maybe, I don't know how long she's been doing it actually. She's been doing it maybe several months. But the one thing I do know is that I only recall one trade not hitting. So she has an amazing record. She has a 90% accuracy record. So I do highly recommend that you get the London payout. So this is where those trades will where you'll find those trades. Um, if you look below the window, you will see four buttons. The first one, this is where your trade ideas for Forex pairs will be called. The second one is for Bitcoin for cryptocurrency. The third one is for indices, your US 30, France 40, GER 30, etc. And then the fourth one is for metals, gold, silver, etc. Now, what we like to do is make sure that your settings are correct for scalping, using scalping strategy for the ECC11. And the settings should be a 613, 2613. If they are not, if you will click on the little wheel that says settings to the right of the numbers, click on that and go to inputs. And your conversion line is 6. And you can just click on it and type in 6 if it's 9. Your baseline is 13. Your lagging span is 26 and your displacement is 13. Go to defaults and save as default and then click OK. Well, before you click OK, go to style. Sorry about that. Your conversion line is red. And what you can do is make that conversion line a little bit thicker if you like. And you can do that by just selecting on the appropriate width, whatever width works for you, right here at the bottom. The baseline is blue. Same thing as it relates to the width. You can click on that and change the width if you want it darker so you can see it. I do recommend widening the width on the lagging span. I have mine at the thickest width. And we'll talk about the lagging span a little bit later. We refer to it as the money line. And then you want to go to defaults, save as default, click OK. And those are your settings for the ECC11. Let's see these questions. Good evening, Dennis. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So now the ECC11 strategy is, I'm sure that you're on Dr. Kathy's team, so therefore I know you've heard her story and you know why she named it the ECC11 strategy. So what I like to do is talk about that the ECC11 strategy is really the Ichimoku Cloud. The Ichimoku Cloud is an indicator. And all it means is that you can tell what the market is doing with one glance. So you can pretty much take a look at the indicators and you can determine whether the market is buying or selling, whether or not it's consolidating. If price is going up, of course you buy. If price is going down, you sell. And if price is going sideways, it's consolidated and you do nothing. So that's the way money flows. And right now, just looking at EUR/JPY, you can clearly see that price is going up, even though it's pulling back a little bit. But just take a look at, follow my cursor, and you'll see that this is the Ichimoku Cloud right here. And as you can see, this cloud tells the trend. And as you can see, this cloud is moving upward. That lets you know that price is going upward. If you can, when you look at the cloud, you can see that there's a green line, which is on the outer, which kind of lines the cloud at the top. This is like your support when price is above the cloud. And the red line, which is outlines the lower portion of the cloud, is your resistance. So I know that you've gone through the academy and they've talked about support and resistance in your academy training. So the cloud provides that support and resistance as well. It is recommended that if price is inside the cloud, not to trade when price is inside the cloud, because in a lot of instances, price is consolidating. Um, there's also three indicators associated with the cloud. One is the money line, which is called the lagging line. We'll talk about that last. The next one is the Tinkinson, which is the red line, and we refer to that as the signal line. The next one is the Kinginson, and this is the blue line, and we refer to that as the stop loss line. Now, the way this algorithm is set is that anytime, no matter what time frame you're on, anytime you see the red line above the blue line, that means price is buying. You can buy. Now, when you see it cross, you're pretty much going to get 10 pips at that period of time when the red line crosses the blue line and it is above the blue line. Now, when the red line is below the blue line, of course, that means price is selling. So anytime you see that red line cross the blue line, you can actually get about 10 pips at that point in time. But anytime price is below, anytime red line is below the blue line, you know that price is selling. Now the question becomes, how many pips are you going to get out of price? Well, that's where the money line becomes my number one indicator. And I mean, this money line is everything as far as I'm concerned. When you see right now, this money line is pointed downwards. And the way I use the money line is that if this money line is pointed downwards, I'm going to look to my immediate left, which will be right here, to see how far price is going to go down. Well, it appears that my next lowest low will be right here. Okay, so I'm going to take that information and apply it to the right of this line, which means price is going to come down to here, and then it's going to go up to here, and then it's going to come back down again, and it's going to go up, etc. So, or either price could pull back a little bit and continue to go up. When I look to the left, and see how far I can go to the left. I went as far as I can go. It really does appear that it's a clear shot. There may be a little pullback, but it does appear that it's going to continue to go up into a buy. Let's see if I can do this. This system is doing a little something different than what it was doing the last time before I went to London. And I'm just having a little bit of trouble here. See, every time there's this little arrow over here, and every time I try to zoom in, this arrow appears and it takes me out. And I have to go back to the app again. But anyway. Okay, back to what I was talking about. Oh, I was talking about the money line. Okay, so as an example, right here, I'm looking at the money line. And first thing I would ask myself is, where is my, I would look to my immediate left to see where my highest high is above price. Well, if I look above price, my highest high is going to be here, or right here, actually. Here, price is here. This would be my highest high above price. And as you can see, there's going to be a slight pullback, and then price is going to continue to go up. But what I would do is apply that to the right. I will go down just a little bit, and then price will go up to the right, just as it is right here. So that's the way the money line is used. I hope that's helped you understand it a little bit. Let me see if there's some questions. You're saying I can't see the money line on the web analyzer? I'm Did you go through and make your line a little bit thicker as I suggested? NIRGIT, NERGIT? You're saying it's in deep red. How do I put the money line? Okay. We're going to go up here to settings. Click on settings. You see where it says lagging span? That should be green. So you want to click on it. If it's not green, and click on green. And then you want to change the width of it and make it a little bit wider. And then go to your defaults and save as default. Got it? Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, so Chris, could you show that again, please? Do I need to? I sure can. I'll use this as an example since it's pointing upward. What I do is when I'm looking to see whether or not I can get 10 pips from a pair, first I look at the money line. First, I look to see whether or not the red line is above or below the blue line, okay? And in this instance, price is below. I mean, the red line is below the blue line, and it's underneath the cloud. That tells me that on this particular pair, price is pulling back. So I'm looking to see how much it's going to pull back. So I'm going to, since the green money line is pointed in an upward direction, I'm going to look to my left and see what is my next high above price. Well, price is right here, which means my next high above price will be right here. Then I know that it's going to come down to here. But the question becomes, is it going to continue to go down or is it going to go up? So what I would do is I would wait. I wouldn't put this trade in right now. I was wait and see if price goes down and continues to come down, or if price passes this point and continues to pull back. And that's how I determine whether or not I'm going to get in a trade or not. But I do try, even though I do trade pullbacks, I do try to make sure that I'm not going against, in most instances, I don't go against the trend. But in some instances where I see I can get 10 pips, I will trade a pullback. And recognize that anytime you're trading on the 15-minute time frame, that's all you're trading are pullbacks. What I and oh, I see there's a question. Yes, the trend is your friend. But understand that when you're trading with the Ichimoku Cloud, and you're trading the ECC11 strategy, you're really trading price action. This is price range trading. And what I would do is I go to my daily and I look to see what the overall trend is, what price is actually doing, whether it's a whether price is going down, selling, or whether price is going up. And it looks like right now that price is kind of consolidating a bit, but it does look like it may proceed to go in a downward trend. And then what I do is I go to the H4. And I look to see what price is doing. And it looks like on the H4 it's an upward trend, but it's pulling back a little bit. So the cloud is going up, price is above the cloud. You know, one of the things I looked is to see how much time is left on the candle because each candle represents the time frame. So this is a 4-hour time frame. This candle has about 2 minutes, almost 3 hours left on this candle. So for the next 3 hours, it appears that price is going to be buying. Then I move on to the 1-hour candle to see what price is doing right now. Same thing, price is buying right now. And there's like about 58 minutes left on that candle. Then I'll go on to the 30-minute and then the 15-minute. And as you can see, price is buying, but the cloud is going down. The red line is below the blue line. So you know the price is pulling back. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. EJ is pulling back. Okay. Let's take a look at EJ again. Yeah, it is pulling back a little bit, but the red line is still above the blue line. Price is still above the cloud, so you just have a small pullback there. So we'll see what happens. It should continue to buy, even though it's pulling back. The only way you would have to really be concerned about EJ is if in fact price came to the other side of this cloud. Because don't forget that the cloud is used as your support and resistance. So price could very well come down to this support, bounce off of it, and go back up. Can I look at the recent call on gold, please? I sure will. Okay, well, gold price is below the cloud right now. And am I on the 15-minute? Yeah, was the call on the 15-minute time frame? And are you in the trade? Latifa, are you in gold right now? Okay. Right now, it looks like the red line is crossing. You would have to wait on this trade because it looks like the red line is getting ready to cross the blue line. I would wait until it completely crosses. If it crosses upwards, you may be able to get 10 pips out of this. Let me look at this. Price right now is at 1668. If it crosses, it hasn't crossed yet. Price is at 1668. You may be able to get it up. If you could probably get about 10 pips, 1669.231 if it crosses. It's just kind of kissing right now. It looks like it's moving downward, but just like I said, if it crosses, you may be able to get 10 pips out of it. But it still looks like it's going to go on a downward trend. What was the take profit on it? Latifa? What was the take profit on gold? One 66769. Well, it hasn't hit yet. I don't know. It depends on what happens right here. Just like I said, the red line is kissing the blue line. So it just depends on what happens right there. And that'll tell you whether or not it's going to go and continue to hit that take profit or if it's going to pull back. It's a waiting game, I tell you. But patience will make you rich. There was another question here about yeah, you want to wait until it crosses, and that's where the waiting game comes into play. You don't want to rush it. See, there's 7 minutes left on this candle too. Sometimes it's just a matter of waiting until the next candle. Another question, how can you tell how much time is left? Oh, you're welcome. How can you tell how much time is left on a candle? If you look where the price line is, like on this particular pair, which is gold, price line is at 1668.25 or 135. Underneath it, that's the candle count. As you can see, there's 7 minutes and 22 seconds left on that candle. So again, when the red line is above the blue, it's a buying. Price is buying, yes. When the red line is above the blue, Jamil. Trying to see if there's any more questions. Okay, one new message. You're welcome. Okay. So, let me tell you what happens when a trade appears. What I usually do, like, I usually try to take the trade when it's within the first 3 to 5 minutes. We're just going to use GBP CAD as an example. I usually click on this little blue circle here, and the pair will pop up on the screen. And GBP CAD is selling on the M15 time frame. So it came up on that time frame. What I would do is I will look to see, since it is a sale, is the red line below the blue line? And it is. So therefore, I'm going to go to my trend line. I'm going to click on my horizontal line. And then I'm just going to click on any space on the chart. And what I'm going to do is move over to my settings. And what I'm going to do is put the called at price in this block. And that is 78568. And then I'm going to click OK. And the line is going to make the adjustment to that called at price. Now we know that this is a sale, correct? So we're going to go to the trend line again. We're going to draw another horizontal line. We're going to click on any space on the chart. And we're going to subtract 10 from the called at price. We're going to go to the setting wheel. And we're going to type that price in, which would be 78468. We're going to say OK. And as you can see, that doesn't look like 10 pips. Is that 10 pips? Let me try this again. Let's try this again. So click on the horizontal line. Just click anywhere on the screen. Go to the wheel. Type the called at price, which is 78568. Click OK. And then we're going to go to the horizontal line again. Trend line, horizontal line. Click on the space, go to the wheel, and subtract 10 from the called at price, which would be 78468. We're going to click OK, and I guess that is 10 pips. Wow. So as you can see, price is above the line. So you're looking for a red candle to start and come down. It looks like, let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit closer. Oh, don't do that. It did it. Daggone it. Yeah, it looks like that the red line and the blue line are very close. And when I see them kissing like that, I don't make a move to put a trade in because I need to wait and see if they cross. Because that's going to tell you whether or not you're going to want to maybe trade a pullback. Because if the red line does cross the blue line at that time, you know that you're going to probably get about 10 pips out of that move. So you just wait on it. Even though the call was a sale, if that red line goes above the blue line, it's pulling back, and you can get about 10 pips out of that pullback. Okay, are there any questions? All minds are clear? Perfect. Okay, let's see what else, if there's anything we can get into. I need to look at SPX 500. That's I'm going to move away from this chart just for a second and see what it's doing. It's pulling back right now. I'm anticipating it pulling back until I'll pull it up on the screen so you can see it. It looks like it's pulling back right now. It may pull back to here. I'm on the 15. Yeah, I'm on the 15-minute time frame. It looks like it may pull back to here and then it may go back up. I'm hoping it does anyway. Because there's a gap that has to be filled. Let's see if I can show that gap on here. It's not showing on here. But there's a gap. I think it's right in here somewhere. It's showing on my other screen, even though it's not showing on this one. That has to be filled. So I'm waiting on it. Okay, so it looks like they just called EURJPY as a buy. And then EUR, well, that's on the 5-minute. Okay. So are there any questions? You have me for another 15 minutes. I've gone through the settings. I've gone through the strategy. I've explained the cloud to you. I've explained the indicators to you. Everybody has it, right? Nobody's left behind tonight, correct? Well, it's up to you if you want to hold it or not. I mean, the Vibrato has called EURJPY on the 15-minute time frame. I just think it's pulling back. I mean, there's every indication that it's still going to buy. The red line is above the blue line. It's above the cloud. The cloud is pointing in an upward direction. There's not a trend change. The only way the trend would change is if, in fact, price fell below the cloud. It came through the cloud and was on the other side. So if you can hold it, hold it. If you feel uncomfortable, well, then you have to make a decision. I don't think anybody should feel uncomfortable about trading. Trading is supposed to be fun. I definitely will have to practice and hear this information again before I feel comfortable finding my own setups. Well, you know, Jamil, I'm going to tell you, I still take Dr. Kathy's trades. It took, to learn how to trade, it's going to take anywhere between 6 months to 2 years. Now, the vibrato allows you the ability to shorten your learning curve because that's like Dr. Kathy calling a trade signal for you. But at the same time, it allows you the ability to analyze what you're trading so that you're learning the market at the same time. And that's what I like about it so much because you're still learning the skill set. And that's why this is my favorite software package because it's teaching you the skill set, it's calling the trade signal for you, and you get the best of both worlds. How do you calculate 10 pips on EJ? Well, there's two ways to do it. Do you want to know the correct way through? Okay, I'm getting ready. I was getting ready to act silly. Okay, never mind. What you do is, if it's a buy, since EJ is a buy, you're just going to add 10 pips to the first two numbers after the decimal. So EJ 10 pips will be 117.790. This is the way you count pips for JPY pairs. And Rashawn has a class that she offers. I think it's every Thursday. I'm not sure, but look on the flyer. Look for the flyer. Rashawn does a class on counting pips. You know, I'm the type of person that I cheat. I find the simplest way. I go to the ruler, I bring the ruler up, and I count 10 pips. That's just what I do. But yeah, for JPY pairs, it is you add 10 or subtract 10 from the first two numbers after the decimal. For regular pairs, you add or subtract 10 from the third and fourth number after the to the right of the decimal. Okay, Latifa. She's on Mondays. Okay, perfect. Oh, she was on a few minutes ago. Okay, good. How do we confirm if we get in the trade or not? What are your confirmations? In actuality, the indicators are your confirmations. Like my first indicator is the money line. And that tells me, you know, what I do is I look to see which way price is going. Like in this instance, price is going down. And I look to see how far price is going for my first to how far price will go down. And I look to my immediate left to make that determination. I use a ruler and I'll count the pips. Okay. If it's 10 pips, it's a possibility that I may take the trade. If it's less than 10, I may not. Then I look to see what the red line and the blue line is doing. If the red line is above the blue line, but price is going, but the money line is going down, red line is above the blue line, I know it's just pulling back, price is going to go back up. The cloud is going up. That's another confirmation. Then what I do is before I even take the trade, like say for instance, like the money line is now going up. Well, I know that it's retracing. It's going to go back to where it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till this candle gets to, this is the beginning. No, this candle is at 7 minutes. I'm going to let this candle run out and I'm going to wait on the next candle. And the candle is fully formed at 12 minutes. So once that candle reaches 12 minutes, I'm going to make sure that it's a blue candle. If it's a blue candle on the 15 minute, I'm going to go to the 5 minute. If the candle is blue on the 5 minute, I'm going to go to the 1 minute. If the candle is blue on the 1 minute, that lets me know that I can get in that trade. And that's what I do. So does that explain to you how you confirm if you get in a trade or not? Nurjet? Did that answer your question? Okay, Rochelle says I go to the 1 minute and whichever number changes, I know that is the pip. Okay, I don't know what you actually mean, but okay. And whichever number changes, I know that is the pip. Okay. So Nurjet, you're good, right? Andrea, that's cool. Yes, it did. Okay, good. My internet is spotty, Jamel. Okay. Yes, Andra, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I do wait until the candle is 12 minutes because at that point it's fully formed. If you don't wait until it's 12 minutes, there's a chance it might change colors on you. So that's why you want to wait until it's fully formed. So the money line points down in a sell and up in a buy. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Your internet is spotty, Jamil. Okay, sorry about that. So did everybody get, have I answered everyone's questions? One new message? Yes, okay. All right, perfect. You're welcome. Let's see if there's something. We've got 5 more minutes. Let's see if there's something we can get in. So since all of you are pros now, let's scan the market right quick and see if there's a trade we can get in before we get off. The Asian market is a pretty slow market. It's not a lot of movement during this time frame. If somebody sees something, let me know. You said USDCHL? Okay, let's look at it. You said it's moving? I don't see it moving. Oh, it's moving a little bit. Okay. Um, see, the red line is above the blue line. I should let you explain this, Latifa. It's above the cloud. You can get about 3.05. You can get about 15 pips out of it. Let's see what the 5-minute is doing. 5-minute is selling. 1 minute is selling. I wouldn't touch it. You may want to, after we're off, if you see that all 3 time frames is buying, you can get in then. That was a pretty good call, Latifa. So for EURJPY, call price is 11769. Do you subtract 10 from 69, which will be 59? I thought EURJPY is a buy. When it is a buy, you add 10. When it's a sell, you subtract 10. Dennis. So which time frame you look at again? You want to look at, if you're on the 15-minute time frame and the trade is called at on the 15-minute time frame, you want to look at the 5 and you want to look at the 1 minute. See, I always enter in a trade off the 15 minute. So I'm going to check the 5-minute and the 1 minute to make sure that all the candles are going in the same direction. I want to make sure all the candles are buying or either selling before I enter into the trade. Yes, they were the opposite. They were selling. The 5-minute and the 1 minute were selling. That's why I said I didn't recommend getting into it at this time. You may want to wait. I mean, you can get 15 pips out of it, but I wouldn't do anything until the all the candles were blue. And then you have to look at your candle too, because it's just like now the candle is at 13 minutes, so you want to wait until that candle's at 12 minutes before you enter in, providing all time frames the candle's blue. Okay, you're welcome. All right, everyone, that concludes my time for this evening. Don't forget, Dr. K is on at 3 a.m. in the morning. Let's support her with our presence in the morning, Monday through Thursday. So show her some support and love, and let's get up and make that money this morning. And again, she puts in pending. She'll give us pending trades at 11:30 tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So you can find those pending trades in the London Payout. So everybody have a great evening. It's good to be back. And we'll be here tomorrow, same place, same time. You're welcome. Irene, EJ was a buy. All right, good night, everyone.